I'm not even going to hold your hand when I say this. The misery that you're currently living in is a manifestation not of what every single person has done to you, but a manifestation of every single decision that you have made. Yes, it is your fault. You continuously decide to be absolutely loyal and faithful to the version of you that you most definitely hate and the version of you that keeps you stuck. I'm personally sick of it, so step to the front. Let me show you how we can fix it. If you're new here, my name is Felicity and I make content that helps ambitious women who constantly shrink themselves and don't know where to start because they're stuck to be able to walk into their dream lives. Let's hop into the video. Oh, in case you're wondering, I have 3 facts about myself. 1, yes, I'm black. No, I'm not tall. I'm 5'2". And yes, I am all that. Now let's get into the video. We're going to look at the 2 key elements which are involved in matters of reinventing yourself. That is the mindset and the practical tips. The first thing that we must tackle, of course, when we're thinking of reinventing ourselves is our mindset. That is why chapter 1 under this video is on the 3 key mindset shifts that you must make in order to walk into the highest version of yourself. The first mindset shift that you must make is that you were not put on this planet simply to exist as a victim. I am not saying, of course, that the things that happened to you do not matter or that they were not painful. I am not denying you the opportunity to feel and mourn the things that happened to you. However, I am saying that you constantly existing within the mindset of a victim is denying you not only the opportunity of achieving and living your lives, but also that it holds you back from ever creating a story that can guide someone within your same circumstances to reach their full potential. I like to use, when I think about victims, the concept of wars and battles. When we look at victims of war, we don't usually use that term to define the people who came out of the war victorious. No. When we talk about a victim, we're talking about the person who succumbed to the war and never made it out to be able to live another day and tell their stories of battle. Every single time that you decide to live your life as a victim, you are consciously deciding that you will not conquer the challenges that the world has given unto you, that your story is not worthy of being told, and that you are absolutely unable of winning in this life. We're not saying that the things that happen to you are not valid. We're just saying that they do not summarize the entirety of who you are and what you came to do on this earth. How exactly, Felicity, do I get out of a victim mindset? The only way to get out of a victim mindset is to embody a victor. The victors of war are usually the ones who come out and tell the stories of their battle. So this is interesting because it doesn't mean that you don't have to have gone through something. It means that you have to see yourself as having both the capacity to come out and also you coming out of this struggle, of this challenge, is possible. You are capable and it is in fact possible. You must embody those 2 key concepts whenever you're thinking as a victor. The second mindset shift that you must make when you want to walk into the highest version of yourself, you must realize that you already are her. If there's something that personally held me back when I was trying to reinvent myself, was the concept that I was not already the person that I dreamt of becoming. Because of that mindset, it constantly reinforced that I was not this person and therefore I do not need to act like her. Let me explain. When I think about my higher self, this is a woman who nurtures her body. She has a fitness regime that she follows and is consistent with. If I constantly think that, oh no, I am not that person, then I don't need to go to the gym. Because me and the best version of myself who goes to the gym, we're not the same. That is what leads to the cognitive dissonance that you have within yourself and the higher self. It creates a struggle for you to follow up with the activities that you've set for yourself. The biggest hole that you can ever enter when you're reinventing yourself is to think that you're not that person. You and that person are literally the same. The only difference between you and your higher self are the way that you think and the way that you feel. Once you can be able to close that gap, and I will teach you how to in the next chapter, you can fully walk into the best version of yourself. So what is the third mindset shift that you must have? This mindset shift ties to what we had discussed earlier. It is the mindset shift that you manifest exactly who you think and feel that you are. Come very close and listen very carefully to me, because this might actually change your life. When you think about your predominant thoughts and feelings and compare it with the best version of yourself, do you think and feel the same way? So for instance, the highest version of myself, of course, when I think of her, is a person who has a partner that is absolutely supportive, a partner that is emotionally intelligent, a partner that is aware of the attachment style and has worked already to fix that, to come into the relationship as a secure partner. It is a person who has a relationship with God and can lead the relationship in ways that are in line with the purpose and the will. When we conversely, in contrast, compare between the highest version of myself, what her thoughts and feelings were, and you compare with me and what my reality was at the time, the thought pattern is not the same. Back when I was in extremely toxic relationships, I was with people who did not have a personal relationship with God. They were not emotionally available, and neither were they people who had worked on their attachment styles to ensure that they do not bring their brokenness towards the relationship. I don't mean to trigger you, but if the shoe fits, Cinderella, if the shoe fits, leave him. Do you think that it's just the manifestation of the actions or the lifestyle that they live that is what is different? But I'm calling you to a deeper introspection to actually see that the key difference with these two people is the thought pattern is not the same. To stay within a toxic environment, within a toxic relationship that does not give you exactly what you know you need, there has to be a certain level of desperation that has been born in you that keeps on telling you that you have to settle and that you do not have what it takes to get better. You will only say yes to that which fits the criteria that you want. It also means that you have within you the capability to say no to anything that falls short of that. And for you to be able to say no, you need to be perceiving the world in such an abundant place. You need to know that there isn't a shortage of good men. You need to know that there's not a shortage of good relationships for you to be able to want better for yourself. When we think about the feelings are the highest version of myself for relationships, for instance, was that she is abundant, she is deserving, she feels comfortable, she feels provided for, she feels safe, she feels secure. Her nervous system is calm and regulated. When I was still in toxic situations, I was never calm. I was extremely masculine in most of my relationships, and I sought to control a lot of the things so that they can remain predictable for me and that could offer me safety. But you see, that's not true safety. You force that safety into the relationship, and in essence it means the man cannot lead because you do not trust in his leadership. And when you look back, you'll see that there's someone whose leadership you could not trust. I could not trust the leadership of my caregiver, and that's why I came up with the same type of attachment in terms of relationship, because I could not trust the other party to ever lead. Unless you are consciously able to realize that these two patterns of the feelings are not the same, you will never be able to change and embody your higher self. So when you look at the feelings, and you can see that there's a distinction, a clear distinction between the thoughts and the feelings of you and your higher self, you realize that there's a gap, and that's a good thing because you can fill that gap. In the next chapter, we'll show you the practical ways in which you can be able to incorporate these two mindset shifts in order to change your life, not tomorrow, but today. If that sounds like content you're into, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.